Hey everybody, it's James here at Board Game Spotlight, and we're jumping into a new series on our favorite two-player games. I am really excited about this because these are some of my favorite games. I can't always get to board game night, and I can't always get a big group to get around and get a big hunky chunky game going. So these are some of my favorite because I can get with my significant other, I can get with my son, I can play a lot of these games at any time. And I know you guys have a lot of the same similarities. So we're going to dive into, as you can see, some of my favorites. Then we're also going to be doing a series soon on games that aren't just two-player only games, but can, I think, do a really good job of supporting a two-player game scenario. So today we're diving into Lost Cities. It is probably one of my top favorite two-player games to get with me and my wife. We love this game. So I'll see you at the table. All right, so we're diving into Lost Cities. And so when you look at the setup, there is a deck of cards and this little player board, and everybody's going to get 8 cards, and that's what you're going to work from. You've got 5 different colors, and you're trying to score the most points that you can in those 5 colors. So they're like expeditions that you're going on, and they have a cost. So if you start laying down cards in a column that match that color, you're going to be scoring that at the end of the game. And there's a 20-point right out of the gate deficit cost that you're going to have to pay. So you're going to want to get cards in there that's going to total up to more than 20 points, or you're actually going to go negative on that expedition. There are also wager cards. So like if you look at my hand of cards I've been dealt here, I have a blue and a red wager. You can lay those down first before you start applying numbers, and that will double your value there. But it also doubles the cost, so you better be sure. So like in this case, red, I'm not superly in a good position right now to go for red, but blue is looking really good. So like my first play, if I was going first here, I would probably play, let me swap hands for a second. I'd play a wager card here. At the end of your turn, you draw back up. All right, so then the next player would go, and they're going to play on their side of the board. Now, there's only one of each, it's 2 through 10, so there's one of each number. So once I see the blue 2 played over on this side or any other number, I know that that number is off the board. And so you have 2 options. You can either play down on your board, and you have to play in, you can't go below the value that's already been played, or you can discard to a card in the color of your choice. So when you draw cards, you can take one from the deck, or you can take the top card from the discard pile of one of the colors. So if you when you discard a color, because you're going to have to, you might be giving something to the other player. So it's usually a part of your strategy to see what number they're at. Let's say they were at 5 green, right? I could discard a 4 green and they wouldn't be able to pick it up and use it. So that's part of your strategy. The game ends immediately after a player draws the last card. So when you get down toward the end, you're really going to be hustling to try to get some stuff out of your hand. So in this case, let's look at what I've got here. I'm not really set up well for any of these. So I can throw down the 2 yellow because it's really low. You want to start low so you have room, or the 3 of green and just hope that I draw some of those colors. Or I could discard one of those wager cards for red. It's just, at this point, it's just a guess. So let's pretend I go and I just throw down the 2 yellow and I draw up. White. Didn't really want that, but that's where I'm at. And so this goes on until you have stacked up and you're at the end of the game and that last card's drawn. So then we're going to look at scores. And you know what? I will back us out and I'll show you an in-game scoring situation. So here you might see an in-game scoring situation. So let's add up what I would have as a score. So here I did not make it to 20. And so this is going to happen sometimes. Early on you're going to have to make a choice. Do I want to discard something and hope I draw up a card that I need later? And you might have some low ones, so you do it. So like here, I might have had the 2 and 3. I put those out, hoping I'd get something better later. It didn't happen for me. So here I've got 10 points. So I'm actually 10 points in the hole because you owe 20 right out of the gate. Here, I went all in on blue. I really had a good run. I even put a wager card down. I ended up doing great here. This adds up to 44 points when you do the times 2 because of your wager. Now, also, you get plus 20 if you can get 8 cards into a single row, which I did here. So that would actually be worth 64 points right there on its own. But I lost 10 there, so I'm down at 54. Here, you might have this happen in a game where you get a couple of good cards late in the game, and even though you didn't have anything early game, you throw down and get over 20, no big deal. So here I would have got another 5 points. Nothing in green, so nothing happens. You don't go backwards if you don't start it. So you can actually, just avoid a color altogether if you don't have anything good going on there. Here, didn't make it, lost a point. So in the end, I had 64, 54. Oh gosh, what was that? 59 minus 1. So I ended up with a score of 58. And that is how you play Lost Cities. It plays really quick. In the rules, it says play 3 times and add up all 3 scores to see who the winner is. We don't usually do that. We usually just play it in one-offs as many times as we like. It's a great game because you end up looking across the board and seeing what the other players put down, what you need. You're drawing. You're like, I really need a green. Give me a good green. Boom. I did not get it. Or your opponent puts down a card in the discard that you really, really want. The app online for your phone is really good. It's fun. It has a bunch of different challenge modes that you can do as well. This is just a great game. Very affordable. Great little 2-player game. You can play it with almost anybody. This is Lost Cities.